Hello, my Pisces collective. First of all, I would like to tell you I am sorry you might be going through a lot of things. Pisces, I done told you, if you guys watch my astrology, I told you a while back in the beginning of this year that you guys are going through this cycle of 2.5 years where Saturn is really playing a number on you. And this is Pisces placements, so it doesn't matter if you're an actual, you're a Piscean, but if Pisces is somewhere in your chart, that is where you're going to get hit, right? And it's kind of like you're going through this period where you're starting to realize that your intuition has been effing with you because your emotions were not healed and they've been actually sabotaging you. And receiving the repercussions for trusting what you shouldn't trust, believing what you shouldn't believe, because you are out of balance. And this is happening to everybody, not just you. And this is something I have to give you in mind. Okay. So as always, I'd like to look at astrology in September 6th and 7th. So this week, we have really important things that are happening. Okay. The 6th, well, first of all, let me just put out there, yesterday, September 1st, Pisces went into Saturn. And you would know that if you saw my astrology and you were subscribed to my channel, and you would have known that. And that literally is like, and it's also being influenced by Capricorn. So talk about like you're really being called to be disciplined, to put yourself in check, and to correct things, because both Saturn and Capricorn are all signs that have to do with learning how to discipline yourself, learning how to put yourself in check, right? And knowing how to control those, I want to say, impulses to react instead of taking a breath and thinking things through, because I think that's where your intuition has failed you, right? And so that was the beginning. But 6 and 7 syncs with Uranus retrograde in Gemini. That hasn't happened since 1941 through 1949. And this is going to be active in the signs until February of next year. And this is the energy of revolution. And so it's you fighting against things that are oppressing you. But the reality is, instead of fighting it externally, you're freaking realizing that the person that has been sabotaging is yourself. Like there's a belief system that you've had, a trauma that has defined who you are, an experience that limits your movement forward, like a religious group, people you connect to in social media that have been like corrupting your mind in such a way that your intuition is distorted, the way you see the world is distorted, and you've actually been self-sabotaging. And so this energy of Uranus retrograde in Gemini kind of makes you like check on yourself before you wreck yourself, right? And having you fight with yourself to fix the things that you need to do to move forward. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to really have this, I want to say, hermit energy, where they're going to want to look really into themselves and realize, man, I done fucked up and I got to fix this. How can I fix this? And look for actual resources instead of the junk out there in the world that will help you fix that. And then with that, the next thing we have is the 7th, that there is a full moon in Pisces. And this full moon in Pisces is important because there's an eclipse. When there's an eclipse in the moon, it's talking about eclipsing out, changing the chapter, shifting something that has to do with your magic, intuition, subconscious, and the unseen world within you. So your dreams and your hopes and your fears and things that people don't normally see. That is being strongly influenced by a trine in Jupiter in Cancer, which, if you've been seeing my astrology, again, I'm chiming in, you would have known that we are being called since, I want to say, the summer, to figure out where our seeds are planted and if that ground is fertile. In other words, like, I've been investing time, energy, effort on this YouTube channel. Is it really helping me, or is it making me doubt everybody around me and feel like I'm the victim? I have been investing time, energy, effort in this friend group, in this organization. Is it helping me? I'm doing that in my relationships. I'm doing this with this friend. Is it helping me or is it hurting me? Do I need to like pick up my energy from there and move it in an energy that will actually give me growth? But if you do move it, you have to be responsible enough to continue to feed it, grow it, and change it, right? So this is that massive emotional shift that I'm seeing. And so as we're moving to the age of Aquarius, first the age of Aquarius got its crown, but now we're going to be going through three massive changes throughout this like 100-year period of time, where you're first changing your emotions, then changing your mind, and then changing your spirit, and then keep going through these cycles of emotion, spirit, emotions, action, spirit, emotions, action, spirit, over again, until you fully integrate into that energy of Aquarius. That is important for somebody to know. So that's the reason I went into detail with that. So let's see how it's going to affect you, my Pisceans. Remember, over all things, I'm a healer, and this channel is meant to heal. So if you aren't able to sit through my explanations, you're not allowing yourself to sit through the information you need to heal. And that's a you choice. Look at that. The first thing we're seeing is you walking away from something. 8 of Cups. And that is you releasing something that no longer serves you. And you know what no longer serves you? This pity party. 3 of Swords in reverse. This feeling sorry for yourself because nothing works out. Nobody cares for you. Nobody supports you. Everything is terrible. And so I told you that 2025, if you guys have been following me, is a year of accountability and responsibility. So my guides always give me a theme for the year. And I always notice that everything throughout the entire year always backs up that theme. Kind of like, I done told you. It's time for you to take responsibility on that. I done told you. Stop crying about it's everybody else's fault. And then you have to take accountability for that. And I'm finding myself constantly getting called out on things from the universe this year about taking accountability and responsibility for things. Okay. And right here, it's literally saying, I'm going to walk away from this shit that doesn't serve me anymore. Like, I've been the victim, and I introduce myself as, look, I'm the person that experienced this trauma to everybody. So it's like nobody knows me by, hi, my name is Joe Schmo. My name is, this is the trauma I experienced. And I read this book recently about how the world is in this energy of woundology, right? Where everybody's like, look at the wounds that I carry. Look at how strong I am because I have these wounds that I carry, etc., etc. And because that is like a badge of honor, they're holding onto it by grit. Like saying, no, you're trying to invalidate my wound. No, honey, but when are you going to let it go? Because you're still holding on to it. Like, I validate the fact that you experienced that. I believe the strength that you have inside of yourself because you were able to decide to do something different for yourself, right? And then what? Because you're still in that phase of, I'm still overcoming, and you've never became the overcomer. And right here is talking about 3 of Coins. And this is talking about collaborating, getting together with people that will support that new identity. These are your seeds that you're picking up and you're planting over here because you want a new identity. You don't want to be the victim. You don't want to be the person that went through this. You don't want to be the person that's always struggling or always magic is happening to them or always something negative is happening to them. You want to be the overcomer. And right here with the Page of Cups, I am seeing like you're like giving yourself the allowance to have a romantic thought about how your life can be. And that's where you start. Because again, in the beginning of the year in the astrology, I told you guys, pick a pin, like a Google pin where you pin your location to that. And you're going to have so much chaos around you and so much shit's going to go bad. And so many people are going to try to go against you. And so many things are going to be negative, but they're negative because those were you. And they want you back to who you were. And you need to be focused on that pin. And so this is you giving yourself an allowance to creating a new pin for your future. Knight of Swords. This does mean that you're going to focus more on putting yourself in check, the truth. Every single time you have an intrusive thought that comes in, This is you writing down that intrusive thought, or you taking a moment on that intrusive thought and say, why do I feel this? And continue to ask yourself, why do I feel this? When the answer can change into, because I still am living the pain of this. So I need to heal that pain so that this no longer defines me. So this is you policing yourself, because the Knight of Swords sometimes is considered the police. And it's like you policing yourself, but policing your thoughts. The Sun, getting clear, becoming optimistic because you're finally seeing the truth behind your thoughts. That Five of Cups, the fact that you have been focusing so much on the pain, on the wounds. And every single time you start going forward and you start being a little bit happy, yay, things are going my way, everything is awesome. Boom, you get sideswiped by somebody to remind you that you are in pain. But that's because that energy is still around you. That I want to call it the demonic attachment. That frequency is still around you. And it comes to slap you in the face so that you can go back to the hole that you were in. Are you going to stay there? Seven of Wands in reverse. This is you licking your wounds and realizing that the blocks that you've had up to now are created by yourself. And I can tell you, because, I'm totally spiritual, and that's something that you guys would know if you watch my channel for a while. While other people, they might have emotional turmoil or some drama around them, I no longer pay attention to the drama around me. It's like, fuck it, I don't care. So now what my guides do is that they make me sick. So just recently, I confronted a wound that I had. Fear of changing, a fear of moving forward, a fear of trusting, right? Because that's a big one for me, trust. And it triggered an asthma attack. Like, that's why you hear me the way that you hear me. I'm like a little congested. I don't know if you can hear it, but I literally had an asthma attack that led to bronchitis that knocked me the fuck out for at least a month. I mean, not a month, a week. I'm kind of over it now, but I have to say it totally knocked me off my ass for an entire week. Because that's a wound I carry. And it came to my forefront and it hit me on my health. And then that made me realize and take a moment to be like, where did this come from? This is an attack. Where did this attack come from? From a malignancy that I allowed in because of my doubt. Because diseases, demons, energies of low frequencies, they get allowed in because of our doubt, our fears, our worries. So then it's confronting myself in my bullshit so that I can get to the next step. And this is what I'm asking you to do. I wouldn't ask you to do something that I don't do myself. It's hard. This should be hard. And I do believe that it would be good for you to have somebody that can help you with this, because this is you confronting yourself. Knight of Coins, a confirmation about how this is step by step and slowly. And it will seem like forever, but by the time you're out of it, you're like, holy shit, I did it. And here is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups after the Knight of Cups, literally it's like you're going to have to take step by step to get out of this confusion, because every single time you go through another phase of healing, you realize you had another phase of healing to do. Like, you start off with the recent shit, the stuff that you recently go through. And then you start working backwards and you go all the way until your childhood. And then you start realizing that now you have shit that you're dealing with from what your family inherited to you. And you just keep going backwards. You keep healing backwards, but it's actually pushing you forward. On the bottom of the deck, we have the whole new world. The ending of a chapter to move into another one, the Fool. So tell me, this literally goes the last number of the tarot, the 21, all the way to the 0. So it's like a full 360, where it's going to look like you're back to square one and you didn't do shit, but you did. It's just that you're in a different level. You're level 1 of 1 in 50, right? So you're like level 125, not 1-1. Okay? I know that sounds crazy because you're going to have to fight Ace of Wands, another devil, another lie that chains you so that you can kill it, death card, KO it, so that you can enter into this energy of being an emperor, calling back your strength and walking into a new existence. I feel like this is like step and step and step. And yes, people get frustrated, especially nowadays, that people like, you can't even have patience to watch a freaking video of mine that's like 20 minutes long. Most of everybody that watches these damn videos, they click out after 2 minutes. I ain't got time for people that don't have an attention span that is longer than 2 minutes. You know what? Perfect. Keep logging out. Keep not subscribing because I don't want you here. I want people that are actually going to put in the work because that's what this is all about. I don't want to tell you how much I hate like TikTok, how much I hate these really short reels, right? Because what they're doing is that they're taking away your magic and you're just giving it away because you have to have instant gratification. It's like, no, I'm going to put the attention in for it. I am going to put that forth the effort. And yes, it's going to be fucking hard. And then it's not going to be hard because that's just the way it is. This world continues to give you trials. The only difference is that your skin gets thicker and you're like, bitch, it doesn't bother me that bad. Let me hold my drink. I've done this 50 times over. That's the difference between a spiritual warrior, somebody that's strong, and somebody that's in their authentic power, and somebody that's not. Do you think I liked having an asthma attack? No. But I'm like, fuck, what did I do? And I put myself in check. And that's what this is going to do to you. Okay? I feel like I'm talking to somebody I know since forever. It's so funny. Second thing that we're going to be looking at is September 21st. There's a new moon in the sign of Virgo. Why is this important? Well, you would know if you were subscribed to my channel and that you'd look at my astrology that I do in the weekends. Anyways, the reason I'm saying that is because on the 23rd of September, we had a new moon in Virgo. And I don't do the astrology based on what I see in books and blah, 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 and all this stuff. I do it based on what my guides tell me and my experience with the freaking astrology. Okay? I can tell you that Pisces for me makes me very emotional, right? And so when I do an astrology reading and I see a lot of Pisces, I'm like, get ready because you're going to be emotional. It's like one of these things. Okay? So, but the 23rd, I had said that there is a full solar eclipse. Why did I say there was a full solar eclipse, like a fake solar eclipse? Because Virgo was also in the sun. So sun in Virgo, moon in Virgo, new moon. Why is this important? Because it was a beginning of a portal. Because the 21st, there is an actual solar eclipse in Virgo, and there is an actual new moon in Virgo. Thus, the portal. So what I'm going to ask you to do, my Pisces, is to think about what happened to you from the 20th through the 27th of August, because that was a beginning of a milestone shift that you're going to be taking. You said yes to some things, you said no to some things, and you introduce yourself to some other things that are going to move you in the direction for success. And what is going to happen, because this is a solar eclipse. Solar eclipse has to do with things that you see, like your 3D reality, not emotional, actions you take, things that are very masculine, right? You're phasing something out. And it started on August. And it's going to solidify in September. And then this is also with a opposition in Saturn and Pisces. And what is the opposition? I used to be there, but now I'm over there. In other words, you're doing a 180. You're putting your back to certain thought processes, certain personas, certain whatevers that has been fucking with your intuition. So let's see. And it is messing with your intuition because my nose all of a sudden is like really congested. Look at this. 10 of Wands, followed by the 9 of Cups. That is talking about satisfaction. The heavy burden that you've had up to now is that you want instant gratification. You want it fixed yesterday, and you don't want to do any work for it. And you like to party. 3 of Cups. So it's like you just want the easy out, high life. I mean, that's everybody. You don't want to do the work and you want to go in forward fast. right? So Ace of Wands, that's what you're going to put in check. We saw the Ace of Wands in the bottom of the deck over here, where you're going to Ace of Wands the devil. Okay? So that means you're going to put yourself in check against these bad habits, these ruminations, these cycles that you take care of. And right here, we see it again. So it feels like in the beginning of the month, you're kind of becoming conscious of them, while in the end of the month, you're actually going to take actions on them. And what do we have? Temblenza, which is the temperance card. And this is you alchemizing this energy. You realizing, man, I've been shooting myself in my own foot. It's time for me to do something about this. Woo! And look at this. We have the the Ten of Swords in reverse. And this is talking about a vengeance, because this Spanish cards that I got in Mexico, it says venganza. It says venganza and destrucción. In other words, realizing that your desire to have vengeance, to have what is it? Vengeance, to have like gratification, for to see other people's hurt for the things they made you go through, like this like desire for others to suffer the way that I did. That's what's going to have to change. So I feel like a lot of the problems that you've had, because you've lived through your woundology, right? Like you've lived through your wounds. You want others that hurt you, the shit that you've gone through, the things that you consider unfair. You want other people to experience it because they're the assholes that made you feel it. And the more you desire that on the other person, the more it comes to you. And you're starting to realize that. Because the reality is, okay, everybody understands the law of attraction. Okay, as you think, you will create. But you never think about it opposite, right? The fact that if all you think about is that people hurt me, is that you're going to attract people that hurt you. Nobody defends me. You will always attract a person that doesn't defend you. Nobody has my back. You will always attract people that have my back. Don't have your back. Nobody defend. Nobody like. Oh wait. Everybody attacks me. You will find people that attacks you. This is what I'm seeing here. The law of attraction going the dark way. And then the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Wands with the Seven of and the King of Coins, sorry, with the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands says amenaza, advertencia. And what it's saying is that right here, there is also going to be a situation where there's a masculine earthbound person, let's say a person that thinks about their money, their resources, what they can get off of you. You're being told that you're going to have to ward that person off. You're going to be curious about this person with the Three of Wands, but they're telling you, hangman this person, hold yourself up and don't go in that direction. And that's the truth with the Ace of Wands, because this is another karmic cycle. Okay? You're supposed to be in this age of Pisces reconstructing yourself, not falling for another fool that's telling you, oh, I love you, oh, I can help you, oh, I'm here with you, I'm your sitting king that will help you with everything. If you fall for that, you're going to go through another cycle. And this is your hidden sabotage. Seven of Swords. This is the thing that keeps like destroying you, because the emperor you're looking for will always fall short with the Five of Pentacles. And that's karmic justice. I think that you're being taught, Pisces, you're being taught that that codependency of another person, thinking that you're going to have that Prince Charming that's going to save you from some kind of terrible mishap that's happening in your life. That energy is the one that's been self-sabotaging you. And so to help you, though you might think that it's cruel, right? To help you, your guides are making it that if you try to find a relationship, instead of you first focusing on yourself and creating a stability within yourself, right? If you find a relationship, all the relationships are going to do is always fall short, because they're not supposed to make you feel whole. You're supposed to make yourself feel whole. That's harsh. Your guides are your guides sound like my guides that are a little bit of assholes, like the tough love. I mean, what other person would you know tells you that their guides gave them asthma to let them know, hey, this is a wound and you're being stupid. You know, I'm just saying. Next thing is the 22nd, which is the autumn equinox. This is clearly looking at a new direction that you're going to have to go through. Okay. Look at that. Bull, plenty of material things. Bat, take care, an enemy is working against you. What does that tell me? That tells me that that man that we saw is a spiritual vampire. He's going to give you a whole mess, or that masculine energy. Let's call it masculine energy because it's somebody working off their masculine energy. And that can be a woman, that can be a man, that's gender neutral, okay? But somebody working on their masculine energy is going to offer you so many things. The moon, the stars, the everything in between. And they're actually going to be working against you. They're a vampire. They're a spiritual vampire. Then we have the energy of happiness in December. So some kind of happiness is coming in December, because you will be guided to that happiness. The candle is talking about a ritual. So it's a ritual that I believe that you should focus on doing for December that has to do with bringing towards you the happiness that will fulfill you. And here is, you see, it's a work. It's a work that you're going to have to pay attention to. You're going to have to do some kind of ritual or some kind of manifestation for you to bring happiness into your life. Sunrise, a new creative idea, new venture, and a fresh start. And that new creative idea will start a new beginning for you. But first, you have major challenges that you're going to have to overcome because, of course, it's not going to be. I'm surprised how many people are spiritual that believe that they're going to rub on the genie's lamp and he's going to give them all his wishes, your wishes. That's not how that works. There's equal reciprocity and there's a balance of energy, and you will only attract towards you what you are. And if you're a person that hasn't dealt with your stuff, and you're a person that is trying to use another to feel fulfilled, to feel happy, to feel whatever, you will attract that into your life. People that are exactly the same way. So just keep that in mind. Sometimes I think we are our worst enemies, and so, all right. I hope this helps you.